If you still think about her, watch this alone, not because you need to hide your feelings, but because some truths are only meant to be heard in silence, in solitude, where no one can interrupt the storm that's been quietly building in your chest. You see, thinking about her doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. We're told to move on, to forget, to man up, and not let our past haunt us. But that's not how love works. That's not how real connections work. She's in your thoughts because she mattered, because something about her carved itself so deeply into your soul that no amount of distraction, no number of new faces, no late night talks with someone new can fully erase her echo. You remember the way she laughed, the way her voice cracked when she was about to cry, the way she'd fall asleep mid-conversation and then text you in the morning apologizing for it like it wasn't the cutest thing you'd ever seen. And those memories, they're sacred, they hurt, but they're sacred. You tried to move on, maybe you even told yourself you had, you downloaded the apps, you went on dates, you smiled, nodded, laughed at jokes that didn't touch your heart, but nothing quite compares. Because she wasn't just someone you loved, she was someone you knew, on a level most people never even reach. You saw each other, past the surface, past the performance. You got close enough to touch each other's fears, each other's wounds, and for a while, that felt like home. But something happened. Maybe it was timing, maybe it was fear, maybe you both carried too many unhealed wounds to make it work. Maybe she walked away, or maybe you did, thinking it was for the best. And now, in the stillness, she shows up. In the background of songs, in strangers' smiles, in the scent of someone passing by who wears the same perfume. And you wonder, does she think about you too? You overthink. You replay conversations, looking for clues you missed. You remember the last time you saw her and the way her eyes didn't quite meet yours, and you wonder if that was her guarding her heart or breaking it. You wonder if she misses the way you made her laugh when she was having a terrible day, if she scrolls through old pictures when no one's watching, if she ever regrets letting go. But here's the truth, some people never really leave us. They leave the relationship, they leave our lives, but they never fully leave our hearts. Their imprint is woven into the way we see the world, into our standards, into the way we love going forward. They become a quiet influence, even in their absence. You're not crazy for thinking about her. You're not broken. You're healing. And healing isn't linear. It's messy. It's layered. It's waking up one morning feeling free and waking up the next, haunted by a dream where you held her hand again. She changed you. And maybe you'll never get the closure you want. Maybe there won't be some grand, full circle moment where everything suddenly makes sense. Sometimes all you get is the experience and the ache that follows. And that has to be enough. But don't confuse pain with weakness. The fact that you still think about her means your heart worked the way it was supposed to. It opened, it trusted, it loved. And even if it didn't end the way you hoped, that kind of openness, that kind of courage is rare. Don't harden because of what happened. Don't let one ending turn you into someone who doesn't believe in beginnings. The love you gave her was real. Maybe it wasn't enough to make her stay, or maybe it was just too much for someone who wasn't ready to receive it, but that doesn't make it any less valid, any less beautiful. Love isn't always about forever. Sometimes it's about who we become because of it. If you still think about her, it means she mattered. And the hurt you carry isn't a punishment, it's a reflection of depth. Shallow hearts don't break, yours did, and that's a sign that you showed up, fully, genuinely, bravely. You've probably sat in silence wondering what she's doing right now, who she's with, if she laughs at someone else's jokes the way she used to laugh at yours, and it burns. God, it burns. But that fire, that pain, that longing, it's also where your strength is born. Not from pretending you're okay, not from replacing her, but from allowing yourself to grieve what could have been, from choosing to keep your heart open, even after it's been torn apart. You will heal, not all at once, but piece by piece, not by forgetting her, but by remembering yourself, by seeing your worth outside of who stayed or who left, by recognizing that you are not the one who got left behind. You are the one still walking, still growing, still standing in the wreckage with your hands shaking, but your soul refusing to be buried in the past. You are the one who loved deeply, who cared fearlessly, who showed up when it counted, and even if she couldn't meet you there, that doesn't make your love any less powerful. So if you still think about her, honor that, sit with it, let it hurt, let it move through you, and then, slowly, gently, let it go. Not because you have to forget her, but because you have to remember yourself. This is not the end of your story, it's the turning point. And though it hurts right now, though the nights feel too long and the days feel too quiet, there's something beautiful waiting on the other side of this ache. You are not alone, and the version of you who gets through this will be unstoppable. So if you're still thinking about her, watch this alone, cry if you need to, breathe, break, but then rise. Not for her, not for anyone else, for you, because you're worth coming back to. You see, love does something to us. It pulls us out of ourselves, and we begin to see the world through another person's eyes. We change, adapt, grow, but sometimes we grow in a way that we can't undo. When that love is lost or left behind, we feel like we've lost a piece of ourselves. We forget who we were before we let someone in, and we wonder, desperately, whether we'll ever be the same again. But here's the thing you need to know. You can be even better. Love, real love, doesn't just teach us how to care for someone else, it teaches us how to care for ourselves. When you still think about her, you're not just reflecting on the past, you're learning about your capacity for deep love, your vulnerability, your need for connection. These are not flaws, these are traits that you carry forward, traits that will shape the way you love again, whether with someone else or even more importantly, with yourself. What happens now, after the heartbreak, is the slow, steady process of rediscovering who you are outside of her. You were always a complete person, even before she came into your life, even before you thought of her as someone you'd never forget. You have this power within you, a quiet, steady force that refuses to be defined by someone else's absence. You are whole. You always were. And while she may always hold a piece of your heart, because how could she not, the other pieces, the bigger, stronger pieces, belong to you. They belong to the person who endured, who loved bravely, and who will go on to love again, in whatever form that takes. If you still think about her, let that be a reminder of how much you have to offer. Let it remind you of the depth of your soul, the beautiful scars you carry, and the capacity to feel so strongly. Not just about her, but about life. The same fire that burns in your chest when you think of her is the same fire that will propel you forward into new possibilities. So when that thought of her creeps in again, let it wash over you. Feel it. But do not let it own you, because you're stronger than that. You are alive. And that, my friend, is where everything truly begins.